I've always been drawn to the great outdoors, and a few years ago, I embarked on a solo camping trip deep into the heart of the wilderness. The first night under the canopy of stars was serene and peaceful, the sounds of the forest lulling me into a tranquil slumber. However, on the second night, things took a chilling turn. I awoke in the dead of night to a sound that sent shivers down my spine. An eerie, soft rustling right outside my tent. At first, I brushed it off as the curious antics of a nocturnal animal, perhaps a raccoon or a deer. But the rustling persisted, growing more intense and unsettling by the minute. As I lay there, my heart pounding in my chest, I heard something that made my blood run cold. Faint, muffled whispers just beyond the fabric of my tent. It was as if someone was speaking in hushed tones, their words unintelligible, but filled with an undeniable malevolence. Fear gripped me, and I clutched my flashlight tightly, my knuckles turning white. Summoning every ounce of courage, I mustered the resolve to slowly unzip the tent and peer outside. What I saw, or rather, what I didn't see, sent shockwaves through my entire being. There was nothing there. The forest lay still, bathed in an eerie moonlight, devoid of any intruder. The whispers had ceased, leaving behind an oppressive silence. The unnerving feeling of being watched never left me as I hastily packed my belongings and left that cursed campsite in the dead of night. As I navigated the pitch-black forest, a growing sense of dread gnawed at my soul. I couldn't shake the sensation that I was being followed, stalked by an unseen presence. Every snapped twig, every rustling leaf seemed to echo with ominous intent. When I finally emerged from the woods, I was drenched in cold sweat, my heart racing. I sought refuge at the nearest ranger station, where I recounted my harrowing experience. To my astonishment, the ranger mentioned that several other campers had reported similar incidents in the same area over the years. Some speculated it was the work of a reclusive hermit, while others believed it to be something far more supernatural in nature. In the aftermath of that night, I became obsessed with uncovering the truth. I scoured books, interviewed locals, and even consulted paranormal investigators, but the mystery remained unsolved. To this day, I'm haunted by the unseen stalker that lurked in the darkness that night, an enigma that continues to defy explanation. Last summer, my friends and I embarked on an adventure to an old, abandoned campground, nestled deep within the forest. The place had a sinister reputation, with rumors of eerie occurrences and unexplained phenomena circulating among locals. Despite the warnings, we were undeterred and eager to experience an unforgettable camping trip. The first night was filled with laughter and camaraderie as we gathered around a crackling campfire, sharing spine-tingling ghost stories that only added to the mystique of our surroundings. As the fire's embers waned and the forest grew shrouded in darkness, that's when it began. At first, it was subtle, a faint, distant giggling that seemed to dance on the edges of our perception. We dismissed it as our imaginations playing tricks on us, a side effect of our spooky storytelling. But as the laughter grew more pronounced and drew closer, we exchanged uneasy glances, our sense of unease mounting. We grabbed our flashlights and ventured into the woods to investigate, the beams of light cutting through the inky blackness. Yet, despite the eerie laughter echoing around us, there was no source to be found. It was as if the very forest itself was conspiring to play tricks on our minds. The following morning, as we explored the remnants of the abandoned campground, we stumbled upon a tattered diary hidden amongst the decaying structures. Its pages, yellowed with age, told a chilling tale of the very place we had camped. The diary recounted bizarre occurrences, from shadowy figures lurking in the trees to the unnerving sound of children's laughter echoing through the night. One entry stood out. It spoke of the laughing children of the woods, spirits believed to be the souls of children who had perished in a tragic fire long ago. The diary suggested that they sought company, luring unsuspecting campers deeper into their spectral realm with their unsettling mirth. Terrified by the eerie parallel between our experience and the diary's accounts, we hastily packed our gear and left the cursed campground behind. The memory of that ghostly laughter continues to haunt my dreams, and I can't help but wonder if those restless spirits still roam the woods, forever seeking companionship in the darkness. In the aftermath of our haunting experience, I became an amateur paranormal investigator, dedicating my time to uncovering the secrets of that accursed campground. I've collected countless accounts of eerie encounters and unexplained phenomena from other campers who ventured into those woods, forging a bond with fellow seekers of the supernatural. My life has transformed into a relentless pursuit of understanding the enigmatic forces that reside within that forsaken place. One summer, my friends and I embarked on a camping expedition deep into the heart of a dense, untouched forest. We set up our campsite near an old, long-abandoned cabin, a relic of a time gone by. Everything was idyllic and serene until the second night, when a tragedy unfolded that would forever haunt our lives. Our group gathered around a crackling bonfire, the warmth and glow of the flames providing a sense of comfort in the wilderness. The camaraderie was palpable as we shared stories, roasted marshmallows, and reveled in the serenity of our surroundings. Little did we know that the tranquility of the night would soon be shattered. Sarah, one of our closest friends, decided to venture into the woods to gather firewood, a task that seemed harmless enough. Minutes turned into an agonizing eternity as we waited for her return. When she failed to reappear, our jovial spirits gave way to concern, and we began calling out her name into the inky darkness. As the minutes turned into hours, panic set in. We scoured the surrounding area with our flashlights, our voices echoing through the trees. But there was no trace of Sarah, no discarded firewood, no footprints, nothing. It was as if she had vanished into thin air. Desperation compelled us to summon help. We contacted local authorities and a search and rescue team, who arrived with specialized equipment to scour the wilderness for any sign of our missing friend. The search was exhaustive, spanning days and nights, but it yielded no clues, no leads, and no trace of Sarah. The forest, it seemed, had swallowed her whole, leaving behind a void in our hearts and an insurmountable sense of guilt for not preventing her from venturing into the woods alone that fateful night. The anguish we felt was indescribable, a relentless torment that gnawed at our souls. In the aftermath of Sarah's disappearance, our group was forever changed. The once close bond we shared was fractured, each of us haunted by the unanswered questions that lingered like a shadow over our lives. Despite our unwavering determination, Sarah's case remained unsolved, a mystery that defied explanation. We couldn't escape the nagging feeling that there was something sinister lurking within those woods, something malevolent and unseen that had torn our friend from us. The fear of the unknown continues to cast a long, dark shadow over our lives, a reminder of the enduring mysteries of the wilderness and the enduring pain of losing someone we loved. I became consumed by a relentless need for answers, dedicating my life to understanding what had transpired that night and unraveling the enigma of Sarah's disappearance. I reached out to experts, delved into the forest's history, and sought solace in support groups for families of missing persons. My life became an unending quest to uncover the truth, no matter how elusive it might be. My name is Daniel, and I have a chilling camping horror story to share, an experience that still sends shivers down my spine. It all happened a few years ago when my friends and I decided to embark on a camping trip to a remote location known as Campfire Hollow. The journey began on a crisp autumn day. 5 of us set out with backpacks filled with provisions, excited for a weekend of adventure and camaraderie. We had chosen Campfire Hollow for its serene beauty, nestled deep in the woods, far from any semblance of civilization. The first day was as perfect as it gets. We set up our tents beside a bubbling creek, and the warm, golden sunlight filtered through the leaves, creating a picturesque scene. We spent the afternoon hiking and exploring the area, feeling like we were the only people in the world. As night fell, we gathered around the campfire, its dancing flames casting eerie shadows on the trees around us. We shared stories, roasted marshmallows, and laughed under the starry sky. Everything was just as it should be until we heard the first strange noise. At first, it was a faint rustling in the underbrush, barely audible over our laughter. We brushed it off as a raccoon or some other nocturnal creature. But then, it came again, a low, guttural growl that sent a shiver down my spine. Our laughter died down, replaced by an uneasy silence. We all strained our ears, trying to pinpoint the source of the sound. The forest was unnervingly still, It was as if the very air around us had turned thick and oppressive. Then, it happened. Something massive and unseen seemed to pass right behind us. I turned to see a fleeting shadow darting between the trees. My heart pounded in my chest as I whispered to my friends, "Did anyone else see that?" Their wide-eyed expressions confirmed that I wasn't alone in witnessing the inexplicable. The atmosphere grew tense, and the once welcoming woods now felt like they were closing in on us. The growls became louder, and bizarre, guttural chanting filled the air. Panic surged through our group, and we decided to extinguish the campfire, dousing it with water, hoping the darkness would hide us from whatever lurked nearby. Huddled in our tents, we could hear the sounds of heavy breathing and footsteps circling our campsite. My heart hammered in my chest as I tried to rationalize what was happening. Maybe it was just a group of hikers playing pranks on us, I thought. The night seemed endless, with those unseen entities toying with our fear. Hours passed, but eventually, the noises faded away. We emerged from our tents at dawn, shaken and exhausted, and found our campsite in disarray. Tents were torn, food supplies ransacked, and strange symbols were etched into the trees surrounding us. With trembling hands, we packed up our belongings, leaving Campfire Hollow behind. To this day, we can't explain the horrors we experienced that night. The chilling growls, the sinister chants, and the eerie shadows remain etched in our memories. We'll never know for sure what haunted that remote wilderness, but one thing is certain. Campfire Hollow is a place we will never return to, and the story of that night will forever serve as a warning to those who dare venture into the unknown.